Thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Roberts. The RCMP's regrets over extensive surveillance of Indigenous leaders aren't enough. That's the message from the Assembly of First Nations National Chief and First Nations leaders in Manitoba. They gathered today to demand action following the CBC Indigenous investigation that first brought the surveillance program to light. It found that prominent First Nations, Inuit and Métis leaders had been spied on by the RCMP from the late 1960s to the early 1980s. We'll hear from the Dene National Chief on this issue shortly. But first, Juanita Taylor reports from Winnipeg on today's gathering.
The response from the RCMP's commissioner expressing sincere regret to a historical secret surveillance program on hundreds of Indigenous people and at least 30 political organizations by RCMP through wiretaps and paid informants is not enough for about a dozen First Nations leaders here in Winnipeg today.
We're calling for full disclosure of all surveillance records, an independent public inquiry, public hearings so our people can speak and be heard, and clear assurances that this is not continuing under a different name.
They've rejected the RCMP commissioner's statement that did not come with an apology. Today, they are uniting to demand further action from the federal government. The AFN's national chief has sent a letter to Prime Minister Mark Carney demanding for more accountability.
These actions are extremely serious violations of the most foundational civil and political rights affirmed by the Constitution and international human rights law. Those rights are key aspects of any democracy. Sadly, the RCMP aimed to oppress, intimidate, and harass unlawfully our leaders at the time. Leaders who were standing up for their people and for their rights. Rights the Canadian government was refusing to honor. Today, we call on Prime Minister Carney and the Minister of Public Safety, Gary Sangre, to do more than issue a formal apology.
They are asking for the release of all records, unredacted, with privacy measures, create a joint senior working group reporting to the Prime Minister's office and the Assembly of First Nations. This unity stemming from a CBC Indigenous investigation revealing hundreds of Indigenous leaders spied on beginning in 1968 amid concerns about outside influences from radicals and communists. Nearly 6,000 pages of RCMP Security Service documents were obtained by CBC through access to information requests. Woodhouse Neepanak also expressed she's concerned that the Carney government's focus on major development projects could put First Nations at risk of similar methods today. Juanita Taylor, CBC News, Winnipeg.
The Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs wants a public inquiry into the surveillance program, and that's an idea Dene National Chief George Mackenzie supports. He also wants fast movement on the outstanding Northwest Territories land claims as a gesture of goodwill after these revelations. I spoke earlier to the Dene National Chief. Here's that conversation. Dene National Chief, thank you, Merci, for joining me today.
Yes, I'm glad I'm here.
So the AFN National Chief has rejected this statement of regret from the RCMP over the surveillance that happened in the past of Indigenous leaders. What's your take on that position?
Yes, the surveillance that happened on the Indigenous leaders of Canada, I think it's very harmful, very sensitive, and I would say a disgrace to the Aboriginal organization nationally. We're not troublemakers. We've never been troublemakers. To protect and defend our rights, for the RCMP to do that to us, it's not right.
And do you think that statement of regret from the RCMP was enough? Would you like to see more from them, from the Government of Canada? What do you think should happen next?
Yes, for sure, there has to be a public inquiry is one thing. Get the true story. So this will never happen again. And there has to be some legislation for the federal government that this kind of event never happens again. Those kind of things have to take place. I think, when stories like that come out, it hurts families, it hurts people, it hurts everybody that's related to the leaders. That happened to the nation leaders in the past, at the beginning, in the brotherhood. And more than what a formal public apology is needed. And I would say it's not my decision to say how it should take place. But I think the affected leaders of the past, they would have to get together and formulate how they want to handle it.
At the center of this is the relationship between both the RCMP and the federal government with Indigenous leaders and organizations, which is a relationship that has not always been positive, perhaps you can say in broad terms. What does that relationship look like today, and how has this story about surveillance potentially affected it?
Well, surveillance came out recently, and it kind of beefed up the negative relationships with the RCMP. The negative relationship with Aboriginal community is there, no denying that. We even have cases from former RCMP that are Aboriginal. They've been discriminated against in the armed force. There's many cases like that. So it's not a good picture. I think we as Native organization, the nation, have talked about Native policing. That's the way we want to go. Now, this incident, surveillance, gave us like more reasons, more ammunition to push for Native policing. You know, what happened to Native organizations, the harm is ever very hard to replace. Once the harm goes into your community, it stays with you for a long, long time. So, you know, all that the federal, through RCMP, have done and let it slide, I would say. So I think the federal government owe Native organization a favor big times. We need to us, like we're trying to get things off the ground, like, you know, long-time child welfare reform and all that. And there's two in Northwest Territories, there's two land claims unsettled, you know, Gjoa and Iqaluit. The federal government, because of what happened here and in the past, they owe us a big favor. They should fast track those two land claims. So a major development coming very close, so there's more certainty when those claims are settled. Those are the things that should be attached to it.
Do you think something like this surveillance program could happen again in this day?
Well, you know, there's industry world, and they want development to happen, the corporate money and all that. So we don't quite know what they'll do, right? Federal government is another story. But in the future, this could reoccur. You never know. So there has to be some kind of legislation, policy that the Indigenous world has to be involved, have to be at the table to develop this so this thing doesn't happen. You know, we see these kind of things happen in a movie, but not in the nation or Indian Brotherhood area. I was very shocked when I heard that. I was shocked. Yeah.
Dene National Chief, thank you, Masi, for your time today. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I'm glad I'm here. Yeah.
Nunavut RCMP are sharing updates on a number of drug seizures and operations in Iqaluit and Cambridge Bay. Police say it's led to multiple charges across the communities. The CBC's Toby Uttak reports.
Commanding Officer Kent Pike from the Nunavut RCMP informed the public about drug seizures in the territory at a press conference yesterday. RCMP in Iqaluit executed 20 Controlled Drugs and Substances Act search warrants and conducted numerous related investigations. He says the police are sending a message that this type of behavior is not tolerated in our territory.
The Nunavut RCMP continues to take decisive action against drug trafficking in the territory. Through targeted investigations, search warrants, and proactive enforcement, these efforts have resulted in significant drug, cash, and weapon seizures, along with numerous criminal charges laid across multiple communities against multiple offenders.
Overall, last year, Nunavut RCMP seized almost 8 kilograms of illicit drugs, and additional enforcement seized approximately $425,000 in cash. Police also laid dozens of criminal charges related to drug trafficking and organized criminal activity. George Hicks is the Minister for Justice with the government of Nunavut. He says the government is committed to reducing drug crime in the territory.
The Department of Justice will continue to work with partner agencies to combat efforts of organized crime.
Pike says anyone who would like to report any illegal activities can reach out to RCMP. He says the RCMP is aware of concerns in small communities where everyone knows everyone, and that the best way to give anonymous tips is to go through Crime Stoppers. Toby Utak, CBC News, Iqaluit.
The Yukon government has announced the details of the Dependable Grid program. It provides rebates and other incentives to help Yukoners lower their electricity use, and is part of the territory's broad drive to lower dependence on electricity. TJ Deere reports.
The new rebates are aimed at homeowners, encouraging them to switch away from electric power systems. The biggest rebates offer up to $15,000 for heat sources like wood or propane, or for dual fuel systems. This follows the government's repeal of the Clean Energy Act and the emissions regulations contained within it. But when reporters yesterday and the NDP in the House today asked about how this will reconcile with climate change, the Energy Minister didn't directly answer the question, repeating that the priority is fixing the issue of energy demand.
We're currently in a position where we don't have enough energy to meet peak demand in the middle of winter. The reality of nature is that it is dark and it is cold during the winter. And the renewable sources that are available to us to bring online, such as wind and solar, aren't able to support us during that period of time. And so, unfortunately, what that means is that thermal is the solution for the north.
It's hard to imagine that the minister could have really thought through the impact this program would have on the climate and have decided to go ahead with it. So when he didn't have an answer for what it would do to our greenhouse gas emissions, I don't know that he's actually checked.
The funding for this program was redirected from money previously tagged for electric vehicle and bicycle rebates, which were canceled at the beginning of the month. But the government says another program related to EV charging will launch in the fall.
This program isn't necessarily looking at EVs powering the grid, but just optimizing when they are drawing from the grid, which does speak directly to the capacity the grid needs to provide that power. If all the EVs are charging at the exact same time, say 5 p.m. when people come home from work, that does put pressure on the grid and talk to the capacity needs of things.
The government says it's also making a long-term plan for energy capacity.
There are conversations getting underway about other energy sources, with the Whitehorse Power Centres being a priority project in the immediate term to address the critical state that we are in, but is by no means the only thing that we're talking about in the foreseeable future.
Applications for the Dependable Grid program are now open. Eligibility is retroactive to April 1st. TJ Deere, CBC News, Whitehorse.
A week-long state of emergency in Gjoa Haven, Nunavut is now over. The hamlet made that announcement today. The emergency declaration was triggered by a community-wide power outage last Thursday. Electricity was fully restored over the weekend, but people were still struggling from lingering effects like frozen pipes. At least 50 homes were damaged following the outage. Severe weather also made it difficult to deliver water and sewage services. The hamlet says it'll continue to work with the Nunavut government in the recovery. Taxi rides in Iqaluit are going up by 25 cents in May. The city says the fare will increase to $9.75. Fare for elders will remain at $8. Children under 10 years old accompanied by adults will continue to be free. The increase applies to all areas of Iqaluit where taxi tariffs are enforced. The city of Iqaluit says the new price is part of the city's fare review process under the taxi tariff bylaw. The city suggests customers exchange taxi vouchers for the right fare by May 1st. The president of CBC Radio Canada was in the Yukon this week. The public broadcaster is expanding its services, opening new bureaus across the country, including in Haines Junction. Marie-Philippe Bouchard says the corporation is committed to maintaining these bureaus.
And it is our strength. It's our secret power because local reporting cannot be duplicated by foreign giants. It cannot be created by AI. And the relationship between closeness to a media source and journalists, boots on the ground, and trust is a direct relationship. We have studies that demonstrate that the farther you are from a CBC station, the less likely you are to actually rely and trust. And so we have a high level of trust across the country. We want to maintain it. We want to enhance it. And we also want to nurture the local media environment. So if we can enter a market where there is no source of news and create a bit of a hub, that's a win. If we enter a market that has a declining sort of environment, then we can support it and sustain it.
Bouchard says there are ongoing conversations with the federal government about future funding. As interest in the Northwest Passage grows, the Nattilik Heritage Centre wants to showcase and preserve more of Nattilik Inuit history. The museum is in Gjoa Haven. It serves as the base for the shipwreck sites of Sir John Franklin's ill-fated 1845 expedition. We dropped by and spoke with the centre's vice president to learn more.
Some of these artifacts are real. They were real tools that my parents used. For example, bow and arrow over here, those are real. That my ancestors used them for survival, to catch any type of animal, seal, rabbit, ptarmigan, caribou, polar bear, you name it. As we are Nattilik Heritage Committee feel that we need to put out more items. We need more spaces. We also know that in the near future, the Franklin story will be coming around. So we feel that we need some addition to add this new small building. Until recently, that there was some material that my parents used to use for the tools. We learned that the Amazon has some taken away from this community, and then we began to feel that we can return them here and have them here.
Two Canadian Olympic speed skaters are in Nunavut this week. They're training and mentoring young athletes in Iqaluit. Bianca McEwen went to one of their practices.
It's not every day you get the chance to race against Olympians, but for 2 days, Iqaluit were able to train alongside current Olympic speed skaters. 15-year-old Riley Savikata went head-to-head against an Olympic gold medalist.
They're on another level of fast. They make me feel slow, and then they're really fun to be around.
Civica raced Steven Dubois, who just won the gold medal in the 500-meter race in Milan. Dubois says being with the young skaters reminds him of when he was just starting out.
Well, I've been there 12 years ago, so it's been a while since I've been at that level, and it's fun to inspire the younger generation. And Riley is super strong.
12-year-old Hannah Didham remembers watching Olympic speed skating every day at camp this year.
We watched everything live, and it was just a really fun thing to do. And yeah, we would cheer on them and stuff, and we would learn from them, their falls, their mistakes, really everything.
Didham says she's learned a lot from the Olympians, like how to improve her crossovers and build more speed. She says she has big dreams in the sport.
Speed skating is like my favorite thing to do. I always look forward to going to the practices. So I just really want to become an amazing speed skater and maybe even go to the Olympics, Canada Games, I just really want to be like a star speed skater.
Dubois says he hopes the trainings are educational, motivational, and most of all, fun.
Speed skating is a hard sport, and it burns the legs, and it's super tough, so you can get burnt out pretty easily. So if they find a way to make the sport really fun and keep them in it, then they can get better and better for a long time, and then it's part of the process.
The Olympians will now travel to Nova Scotia to continue the tour. Bianca McEwen, CBC News, Iqaluit.
A young athlete in Iqaluit NWT says wrestling has been a positive outlet for him. Hunter Kitikudlak started the sport back in 2022. He went to the Arctic Winter Games earlier this year, and now that he's aged out of the competition, he's figuring out what the future holds.
Wrestling has a soft spot in my heart. It's helped me with a lot of things in life. Kept me busy too, and fit. My plan is to start coaching courses and try to coach for the next Arctic Winter Games. It also makes me feel really happy seeing all the people go to the practices, and it makes me feel very happy seeing them learning the sport and them growing with it.
The athletes were without a coach in Iqaluit when we were there a few weeks ago, but they were still keeping their skills sharp. We went to one of their practices and found out why they like the sport.
It helps me stay fit, and it's just fun.
It's lots of fun. Yeah, get to travel a lot.
I get to go on free trips.
It's really fun playing the games, especially British Bulldog. But we need to get some muscles to turn them over, because some of the guys we couldn't flip them over.
It's just fun, and it's fun to learn new stuff, and just being around friends.
A new batch of leading contemporary Northern artists are being showcased on the national stage. The long list for the Sobey Art Award was announced today. It includes 30 artists from across Canada, with 5 representing the circumpolar region. And among those 5 is a Dene artist from the NWT. Mila Nakeko is originally from Fort Simpson, currently lives in Yellowknife. Her work spans various mediums, including painting, film, beading, and other traditional Dene art forms. A central focus to her work is hide tanning and exploring themes of Indigenous conservation, especially in relation to declining caribou herds like the Bathurst herd.
Being in community and talking to a lot of different people and being able to be a part of meetings with my film project and hearing our elders and our leaders talk about what's going to happen to us as caribou people if all of the caribou are gone. And so it's a really just embodying how that feels, because we don't know how that feels or what's going to happen. And so it's really to take a look at ourselves and our actions as human beings, and also like our responsibility to our environment.
Nakeko has also been working to revitalize hide tanning through teaching. She's been visiting various communities in the country for about 15 years now. The 6 shortlisted artists for the award will be announced on May 26th, and the overall winner will be announced this fall. And that is Northbeat for tonight. For news anytime, go to cbc.ca/north. Thank you for watching. We leave you tonight with some video from the finish line at the Nunavut Quest. The musher with the fastest time over the course of the race will be named the champion. I'm Megan Roberts. Have a good night.